Hey everybody, Joe with Bumbling Acres here. Hope y'all are doing well. It's Saturday and I went home early last Tuesday from my corporate job and haven't been back since. So I guess we're on like day 5, maybe. Tuesday was half day, so Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So day 4 of technically since my last day working in the corporate office. And I always remark that in my corporate setting, I was always busy. I put myself on a regimented schedule, and I work well in structured, scheduled environments because I can always adapt how I do things for the environment I find myself in. I'm not good at creating structure myself, but I'm very good at, when I get into a structure, adapting that structure to my way and making it better. Well, but I always still remarked on the circumstances at work that I was always much busier. And when I got home, I was always still working on my off days, but I was a lot more productive. Felt less busy, more productive. And the last couple of days have been applying a lot of that energy that I bring to work, constantly adapting, constantly moving, to the always unending tasks as a homesteader that need to be done. And by the way, if you're going to get into homesteading, be used to never ending tasks, but ever fulfilling and ever rewarding. Unlike where one of the reasons I took time off early before I had to from work was because I was just spinning wheels. So many of the clients that we work with weren't even in, and it was just me going into work and feeling like I was sitting on my rear end for 8 hours, and that's just not good for me. So I came home to work on my homestead. This is our compost bins, compost areas, and if you had taken a picture of this 3 days ago, there was almost nothing in it. And what we have done is, my chickens are loving this, is we sit on a little over 4 acres, 4 1/8 of an acre. In the back, probably acre it's not fair to call it a wooded area because it's only an acre, it's relatively small. But it's still a lot of treed area, and we get a lot of leaves that are falling. So I've started clearing out that back area of the leaves that are on the ground and moving them to the front. And we did that for about an hour, me and Gage, or half an hour. Today we're going to talk about, fences, foundations, functions, and along with clearing out that back area, there's a reason for that, and I'll announce that in later on in the video. But we've also been working on finishing up the enclosure for our garden area, which is going to be about 35 feet by 70 feet when it's completely done. Right now the chickens are in there because I haven't had a chance to put the gate on, because it's just, we poured the cement. And I guess we'll say a non-pro tip, I've always used Quikrete whenever I've had to put posts on the ground, and there wasn't really any that hadn't been just beat to hell and back at where we went and bought concrete. So I had gotten not mortar but traditional concrete, and hadn't really paid attention. Did the same way that I've done Quikrete, just pour the concrete mix in the ground, pour the water on top of it, and hasn't worked out incredibly well. Foundation not real strong under the gate, so today was going through actually properly making the concrete mix, putting it in the post. I still had about 6 inches of the post from the ground when filled that up with the concrete mix. And we're walking down my driveway, by the way. And one of the things that we talk about, gates and fences, foundation, wanted to kind of increase security somewhat. Also just wanted to make this feel more for what we wanted. And one of the things we put in the ground today was our posts for what will be the farm gate that goes across our driveway in the front. So we dug the holes and buried the posts, poured the concrete, and this should be hopefully ready by early next week for us to hang the gate that we'll put here, and we will have a much more secured area. Obviously, if somebody has a bigger vehicle or something of that nature, still going to get around it. We haven't fenced in the entire property, but if someone's going to work that hard to get on my property, I also have guns, so I'm not too worried. But that's part of, you've got to have a long set moving forward. None of this is new. This is not, oh, Corona's here, so I need to go do all this. These are all plans we already had. And I feel like that's a difference between a homestead mentality and a non-homestead mentality. Non-homesteaders are losing their mind right now. they're trying to do everything that homesteaders have been doing for since whenever their start date was. They're trying to do it all in 1 week, and hell, it took us probably 2 or 3 months to even get an idea of the vision of what we wanted to do with the property. And setting up the compost bins that you saw. It's just pallets put on their side, but made little pallets, and pallets have become my go-to structures. And now we've got turkeys and rabbits and chickens, and we're about to get more. Our meat birds are coming in the next week and a half. So I'm clear. I need to finish my meat bird enclosure. It's one of the reasons I put the concrete thing in, so I can have the gate ready for that. But as a homesteader, it's important we talk about foundations that we have. And one of those foundations is the vision that we look forward. What do we look towards? What do we want to accomplish? And this coronavirus has been an opportunity for us to accelerate our dream. Rather than feel like everyone's losing their dreams because they're stuck at home, this is us. I've been able to surround that garden bed's almost completely closed, and we will begin to plant. That would have taken probably a month before, only on my weekends. Putting up the fences and the enclosures, that would have taken probably another 2 weeks, just because there's so little time when I have. So this has been an opportunity for us as homesteaders to accelerate our vision, accelerate our plans, which brings us to our newest thing. We will be adding pigs to our property. We always knew we were. Obviously, in light of recent events, it's become more important as we look at sustainability and longevity and kind of what functional things can we add, and can we add now without destroying us. Had an opportunity to acquire the pigs that we wanted at a relatively less expensive price, and it has brought the need, because where I want to pasture the pigs is in the wooded areas behind my property. And like I said, it's not really fair to call it a wooded area, but it's a somewhat wooded area. But as we prepare to set up the pasture zones I'm going to put in, this space is probably, I don't know, I'm terrible with eyeballing things, probably 150 feet to the back of the property, and it's probably 500 or 600 feet to the side. So we've got 100 feet to 150 by 600 foot area. And I'm gonna station it off in pasture zones. Basically, right now, the vision of it is to 15 feet wide and all the way to the back of the property, and partition that off to the zones, and then I'll have the pigs on the far side. And each zone, I'm gonna have to put a water station. And in each zone, I'm gonna have to put a home station for them, a wildling station. But we went and started acquiring the electric fencing lines that we'll be running. And but one of the things I wanted to do, kind of brought on, was clearing out all these leaves on the ground and clearing this up so that I can easily ground everything. I can easily make sure that the fence is clean and really start looking at what kind of area do I have. So it has been just huffing with our wheelbarrow and some snow shovels. By the way, probably the best thing, the thing we use, the most versatile tool on our properties, probably snow shovels. We don't really usually have a winter it's real harsh. And honestly, these snow shovels they sell commercially probably wouldn't hold up to the winters if we had a real bad winter, but they are great for cleaning up our rabbit hutches under our carport, which has some concrete area. It's really good to scrape up the rabbit pellets. It's really good for when you get things in piles and being able to, with leaves, and scooping them into wheelbarrows. So snow shovels are really, really, really good to use, and you can get cheap ones that'll still work for all those little stuff around, even though they probably wouldn't work for actual snow. So, but that's part of, foundation in who we are. What are we as homesteaders? And the foundation of what we seek, the purpose that we look for, which unites us in our vision forward. So when opportunities like this come along, the coronavirus has been an opportunity for us, because we have looked at what our vision was and how do we accelerate that vision, rather than feel like we're just abandoning all purpose. So find your purpose as a homesteader, let it guide you towards your vision, and then when things like this happen, you can adjust your vision. And you can adjust your tasks of what you're doing, and you actually feel very rewarding, knowing that at the end of this stint, my property will be 1,000 times further progressed along than it was before. It's really awesome. So the coronavirus is for us is it has been a chance for us to move forward. So I hope it's been a chance for you all. I hope you all are finding yourself safe, happy, and healthy, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. Bye. Joe with Mumbling Acres, signing off.